just leaving Coober Pedy, heading towards Port Augusta. We may continue on to Morgan, or towards it anyway. We'll see how we go. Depends how tired everybody is after we reach Port Augusta. 9 days so far on the road. It does take a little toll on you, but I think the boys are determined to head back home as quickly as we can without going crazy on the kilometres. So we'll see how far we get to go today and where we end up setting camp. The contrast between what we did yesterday and today is phenomenal. Pretty much same scenery, but the difference that bitumen makes versus the corrugated dirt roads that we took yesterday, especially in the rain, stunning difference. Well, the landscape as we're approaching Port Augusta has changed dramatically. We see a lot more vegetation. We're about 6 kilometers away from Woomera. I think that we're going to be spending the night here after all. I didn't sleep much last night, so I was starting to doze off while riding the bike.
Well, who got up at 4:30 to watch the basketball this morning?
We covered 380 kilometers. I think we're going to be calling it a day. So apparently there should be a decent campsite at Woomera. Just going to pitch our tents there and take it from there. And tomorrow's going to be another day.
Close your eyes, hear the voice within, calling this heavy load got under your skin. All in, you got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside, heading for a collision and denial. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors. Right. Moments pass, make this one count. Untie. You're so good at dragging yourself down. Why? Well, there ain't much time left to figure things out. Deep on
A few repairs apparently needed for the mighty SWM subframe bolt.
hell underwater, fine for it. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive.
Dude, a data track
Breathe in.
does wonders. So we're just packed up. The Coober Bar, we spent a few hours there last night. Actually quite good, $4 plus stubbies. It was very nice. So yeah, Woomera was a very interesting experience. We've just arrived to Port Augusta. I'm not sure how big this town is, but it seems one of the bigger ones since we've started the trip. But it feels like we've returned to civilization. You see a little bit of traffic, and more importantly, you've got mobile service. I think Darren may very well be extremely pleased. He hasn't had service with Vodafone for the last 7 days. Yeah, we're going to be passing through only because we're aiming at going to Morgan and camping out there. This trip has been what we wanted it to be and more. There were a couple of things that left us wanting. For example, Flinders Ranges, there were quite a few gorges that we wanted to go past, and some tracks to do. We were unable to because of the weather. There were closures. Similarly, even though we did the data track from Murray to Williams Creek and then Coober Pedy, the original plan was to go from Murray to Williams Creek and from there to the Pink Roadhouse, Unadata, and then cut across to Coober Pedy. This, of course, was unable to be achieved, this milestone, and that was because, again, the weather. There were closures. In fact, when we went from Williams Creek to Coober Pedy, that road a couple of hours later was closed. We barely made it through, I think. All in all, though, a wonderful trip. Just past Jamestown and heading towards Hallett now. These are some interesting back roads that Darren has picked for us. No complaints from me. Well, today's been a very big day. We've done more than 500 kilometers, which is probably the biggest day we've done so far. We've just arrived at Morgan, and this is where we're apparently going to be setting up camp. It's right next to the Murray. Never been here before. Darren praises Morgan. Apparently it has a really nice campsite that's by the river. And I'm actually looking forward to it. Well, 2 pubs. Looks like a pretty big town. Gonna be catching the ferry tomorrow.
That was the longest 68 Ks I've ever. When I looked at the Ks, it only seemed to go down 1.
The trick is not to look at it too often. As you can see, the sky is all dark. We managed to pack up just before the rain, and we're at Morgan, just about to cross over onto the little ferry. Well, this is a first for me, crossing a river on a little ferry with a motorbike. Have a great day, buddy. Apparently that's the Morgan Lagoon. think we're all a little bit anxious to get home today. We started the trip a little bit early. It's 20 past 7 and we've already been on the road for about 10 minutes. Usually we won't leave a location before 8:30. Want to give the wildlife a chance to move on and off the side of the road. But I think we're all anxious to go see our partners and our kids. The weather is definitely not going to be favourable for us today. According to all predictions, the rain is coming and it's going to be following us all the way from Sea Lake to Melbourne. So we're on our final stretch home now. We just left Sea Lake and we're heading towards Melbourne. Last 400 and something kilometres to go on a 4,000 plus kilometre trip. It's been a wonderful experience, shared with a couple of really good guys I can now call mates. I'm actually already, even though I'm not home yet, already thinking about the next one. Just want to take this opportunity to thank Darren and Roger for making this ride as enjoyable as it has been, and also want to thank you guys for sticking around and watching the videos. Greatly appreciated. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. See you on the next one.